Welcome back to Dubbzi Bricks for another episode of Building Gotham City in Lego. First of all, I'd like to wish everybody a happy new year. I hope 2026 is a good one for you and you're all relaxed and looking forward to it as much as I am. I'm really looking forward to doing more work on Gotham City. And in the last update, I was working on the roof section on the left-hand side of the build here, and I did say I thought it was possibly too steep. I'm not going to make any amendments to it for the time being. I want to build the next floor up and just see how it looks once it's all constructed. And then if we're still unhappy with it, then we will make the changes. But I've got a feeling it might be okay as it is. I have ordered some pieces to go on the top there, which will finish it off nicely. And that might be all that it needs. But what we need to do now is just get some plates out, get some tiles and bricks out. And let's start work on this floor here, which is where Strange's main office is going to be. And we've just started to lay the plates out for the next floor up, and I've come across a schoolboy error in this part of the build. These stairs, they come up, if you follow the stud there, it's dead in line with that external wall. So when I start building the wall along here, it's going to be blocking a quarter of the stairs going up. So I need to move those over by one stud. And the problem I've got 4 studs here, which is the minimum I can have. Then I've got the wall, a doorway, and then this door frame, which is acting as a window. I don't want to build that into that wall. I want to have the edge on there. So I just need to try and work out a way of getting that across by the one stud without losing anything. The only thing I can think of is if I step this wall back here by one stud, I'll still be able to have the window frame on there. So just got a little bit of rejigging to do with the brickwork inside of it. But yeah, so annoying that I didn't notice that when I was doing the build last time round. And there's the start of the walls on the inside. I've gone for the nougat colour. I thought it was a nice gloomy colour for the Arkham Asylum. Different from the floors below, but also keeping it nice and tidy as well. Put a couple of snot bricks on so I can add things like clocks, etc. on there. So that should be good, or if there's a picture hanging in there. Now what I need to do is sort out the external walls. There are a couple of tiles that I still need to put down on the floor, but I'm running very low of the tiles that I need, so I'm going to need to order some of those in. But all in all, I think this is going to work out quite well. So let's start building the external walls up, and I'll check back in once we've done so. And that's the walls all built up on the next floor, and I'm just beginning to wonder whether or not this is getting a little bit too tall for the island. It's a very big build for the island. So I'm just going to move it over to the island just to see what it looks like. And then what I'm probably going to do is just do an alternative option for the top there. So I won't destroy that one. I'm just going to try a second option and just see if it looks any better. But let's move it over to the island first of all and see how it looks. And here we have the asylum on the island, and I do think it is possibly a little bit too bulky. And I think what I'm possibly going to need to do is lower this roof section like I was originally thinking I needed to do. But then on the top floor there, I won't have the 2 side parts on there. It'll just be this part here. That'll be the final height to the building. And it might go a little bit higher than what that is at the moment. But yeah, at the moment, I just feel like it just looks way too big to be on here. So, especially when there's going to be another structure at the back there. So let's make an alternative top floor and see how it comes out. And here we have a rough mock-up of what it would look like. And I think it's going to be a lot better having it this way. I think the size is a lot more in keeping with Gotham City and especially the island here. So I am going to go down the route of this one here. So what I need to do is amend the stair location in this part here, which shouldn't take too long to do. I've got a couple of ideas of how to do it with very little impact to the actual build. And then what we need to do is make the new version of that top floor. So yeah, a little bit frustrating that we did the previous one, but you know, it's only once you put it all together, you know whether or not it is going to look right. So I'm glad I went for it, but yeah, we just have to start again on this floor. And this is really frustrating, having to redo parts of this floor. I'm going to try and make it as simplistic as possible with the amendments to there. At the moment, we've got some stairs here which need to come over by 2 studs, and we've got some steps coming over up here which need to be more in the centre because it needs to be in line with this part just here. I could make this part come out by a couple of studs, which might actually be okay. So that's just something I'll have a think about. But yeah, let's make the amendments to the build and we'll check back in once we've done so. And that didn't take too long at all to get it sorted. Just need to get my head around how I wanted it to be. So the back here has stayed exactly the same. And we've now just got the one flight of stairs coming up. So instead of over this side, they now come up here. And I've put a doorway here. So instead of having a second set of stairs coming up here for Strange to go up, you can just go through the corridor along and then up to the next floor. It seems to make more sense than having 2 sets. I've removed the wall that was here, and this is just going to be a little island section in the middle where there's going to be some equipment on top of. This is the experimentation room. And then we've got we're going to have the chair around here where, again, more procedures or experiments are going to be taking place. So really happy that we managed to get that sorted out so easily. And the good thing is, with the next floor up that we previously made, all the lights are still in exactly the same space. So I don't need to amend that. All I need to do is strip the tiles off and amend the brickwork. So let's bring that next floor over and let's get started. And that's the floor all amended, and there was very little work in regards to amending the actual base itself. It was just a case of moving the stairs hole, and that was so straightforward. One wire needed to be redirected, but again, it was a very quick and easy job. So now that we've got the floor all mapped out, the tiles down, let's start building those walls up. Then once we've done that, we can try and work out what we're going to do around the edges. And there we have the next floor all in place, and a lot happier with it looking this way. There are a couple of things I want to tweak on here, like this floor just here. I'm going to put some of the grey bricks on there as well. I just think it's going to look a little bit more complete, and I'll do the same on the back part as well. This part here, I am thinking of lowering that. I just think it doesn't look quite right. And I just got to work out what I'm going to do on the flat section around the top floor just there. And I'm really struggling with this roof, trying to find something that I'm happy with on here. And yeah, nothing seems to be working at the moment, which is really frustrating. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my attention to the very final part of the main build, the tower that's going on the top bit just there. And then hopefully once I've got that on there, then it's going to help me to work out what style I want with the roof. Now, I'm not going to be able to get the roof built for several weeks as I haven't got the parts. All of these parts I'm using here at the moment, I've borrowed from my Tantive 4 inventory. So these were all for the display stand. So I just need to work out what style I'm going for. Once I've done that, then I can order in all of the pieces that we're going to need. So let's turn our attention to the top tower and see what we can come up with. And just trying to get an idea of what it's going to look like, and really pleased with certain aspects of this. Others I need to work on quite a bit. Top bit here needs something around there. And I've got a couple of ideas of what I want it to look like. However, as I mentioned in the past, it's not having the pieces to hand. The roof section like this here, I'm thinking about doing around that side. And I think this one here will look better as well. So I think now it's a case of doing quite a bit of prototyping. And here's the latest version of the roof. So much happier with it now. It's coming on a lot better. And these roofs here have been inspired by the latest Arkham Lego set. So it's the same style as you see on part of the roof section just there. So I think it's definitely the way forward. I'm going to put a lot of details underneath on the ledges just there. I think that's going to look good as well. It's nice to finally come up with something that I'm happy with, and the size I think is perfect for the island. So really excited to order the parts in and get this looking a lot better. Now at the top here, I'm not sure whether to put a stained glass window or put a clock in there. I think both could look really good. If I put a stained glass window, I could put some lights behind it to shine through, which might give it a nice pop of colour. But I'll probably experiment with both and see what looks best. But I do want to increase the size of the circle by 2 studs. So the whole would be 6x6 as opposed to 4x4 that it currently is. But really pleased with the progress we managed to make this week. It's been quite trying doing the floor and then it not looking right and then having to start again, but better to do it now than 6 months down the line. And I'm sure once it's all done, it's going to be well worthwhile, all of the effort. Now, there is a lot of details that need to go on here. I've still got to put all the bars on the windows. But I think what I'll do is I'll put all of those finishing touches on at the same time as doing the interior, which hopefully will be very, very soon. And of course, we've still got to do the other building, which is going at the back here, the other cells. So still got to work out what style I want that. I know I'm going to do it in light bluish grey. I think that's going to be the perfect colour to have it in. And again, the grounds, I need to do a lot of work with those. So a lot of exciting times ahead with Arkham Island. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. If you know anybody else you think would be interested in building Gotham in Lego, if you could share the channel with them, it'd be much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for talking. Bye. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.